Alright, so in this video, um, I'll show you where to find this valve here. It's called emission. No, it's called evaporative emissions purge solenoid. This is the valve. If you get code P0455 evaporation emission control system leak, this code P0455. Which is basically the same in most GM cars, General Motor cars, but this vehicle here is a Chevy Express cargo van. And I was looking on YouTube and I could not find the location of this valve in this van, so I had to look for it. So in this vehicle, you have to open the engine from inside the vehicle. You can see this is inside the van, and you have to open the engine cover from inside the van to find this valve. So you have to open all the clips, the screws, about 5-6 screws. Open the dashboard. You can see the dashboard, the top of the dashboard. You have to open. I'll make another video of how to open all that, but this video is about how to find the valve itself. Right? You have to open this engine from inside the van, not from the hood, from inside the van. And the location of this valve it's I don't know if it's right here. As soon as you open on the passenger side, the engine on the passenger side, if you can see this green thing here, this is one of the covers of the valve. It's a very small piece and it's very dark in here, but the valve, it's, if you can see this cover, this is it goes inside that. It's a sensor. That's a sensor there on top of the valve, and the valve is that small piece here under that thing. Once you pull this out, then you pull the wire sensor. This blue wire sensor, it goes inside the valve too. You pull that out, then you'll see the valve is attached to one small screw right here, under here. This thing here. It looks like this. It looks like this. This is the new piece. If you can see, this is the new piece, and the valve sits like that. So the sensor goes in here. One of the wire hoses goes in here. You remove this yellow thing. You remove this yellow thing, so it looks like that. And that green, this green cover you see here, goes in here. And then there's only one screw bolting the valve to the engine here. This small bolt here. It's a very tricky thing. It's very dark in here, but you can see it. If you look clearly, you'll see it. It's right under that green thing here. Right under that. That's it right there. That's the old one. So I have to remove that screw that attach it to the engine to get the valve out and put the new one in. It's very easy, but it's to find it is the problem. I was looking the whole of YouTube. I couldn't find any video showing the location of this valve, but it's right behind the alternator. If you look here, deep in here, you'll see the alternator right there. So right behind, straight behind the alternator, you will see the valve. You will see the valve itself right there. Once you see this green thing is the cover, and that's the valve under here. Right there is the purge solenoid valve. That will give you a check engine light if it's blocked. So this one is blocked, and you can't pass inspection unless you replace that valve. The purge solenoid valve in a Chevy Express cargo van. 2007 Chevy Express 1500 V6 Chevy Express. That's the purge, the location of the purge solenoid valve. Again, you have to open the engine compartment from inside. So it's about a 1 or 2 hour job, just if you're doing it for the first time. Then you have to know how to take this out and put it back in. Okay. Okay, so that's the old solenoid valve. That's the old one. And that's the new one. That's the new one. So you have to compare them and make sure they look the same. See? You have to compare them, make sure they look the same. And that's the bolt that attaches it to the engine. It's a 10mm bolt. So that's the 10mm bolt that will attach the new one. Okay, that's how the valves look like. Alright. And now you can see the holes where they go. You can see the valve goes in that hole. The bolt goes into this other hole. And then this is the wire for the sensor. That's the wire for the sensor that will go inside in the valve, and this will go in the valve. You just press this. You just press this in, the green thing, the one with the thing with the green cover. You just press that on top, and then put this sensor wire in. This sensor wire, put it in the valve, and screw in the 10mm bolt in there inside the new valve, and you're done. Then you put everything back. Clean the engine first while it's still open, then put everything back. That's how you do it. Okay, subscribe.